The first time I was tested by a girl, I was in middle school. The girl made fun of my socks, and I almost cried in front of my whole PE class. And until around the age 19, when a girl would test me, I would get embarrassed and look like a dork. Now it's been a few years and I've been hit with every test under the sun by women, and I can tell you the test is a make or break moment. If you're not prepared and you lose your cool, the girls will laugh at you in front of your face. If you know how to stay solid though, you will actually create respect and oftentimes attraction with that girl. So today I'm gonna teach you guys how, and I'm gonna give you 8 examples from the other day at the bar when girls were testing me and I easily passed them. So step 1 is to be the man when you're not talking to women. This is something that other dating coaches don't ever talk about and they really miss out on because they only talk about tactics. Because who you are off the court is gonna affect who you are on the court. Like if I'm jacking off to hentai porn all day, is that gonna affect my confidence and my ability to make eye contact with women? Probably, right? If I live in a cave for 29 days out of a month and I come down out of my cave from the top of the mountain into the village and I go to talk to women, am I gonna be very smooth, very socially calibrated and have any sort of momentum? Probably not. By the way, if you want to steal my flirting lines, I just wrote them all down in a list for free so that you can stop having boring conversations where the girl views you as a friend and instead have some sexual polarity in your interactions. Completely free, and you can get that in the description. Now back to the video. So the question is, are you being emotionally reactive in everyday life? Are you letting the little things bother you and you get pissed off? Or are you being more like stoic and sort of not letting things get to you? So I used to have this really like hair trigger temper where I would get mad at almost anything wrong that would happen in my day. So like I would let my dog go outside and it would roll around in mud and I would have to go clean up the dog. I would be mad about that for the rest of the day. Like I wasted 15 minutes cleaning my dog. Or maybe for you, this could be, bad drivers on the road. You forgot your headphones in the gym. They're playing some trash music like usual. Are you being emotionally reactive? Are you letting these things penetrate into your mentality? Or are you just remaining stoic? So this is something that I really had to practice that helps me with women. And step 2 is to understand what it means when a girl tests you. See, a lot of guys get this wrong. They think that when a girl tests them, it's a sign of disrespect. It's a sign that a girl doesn't like them or the girl is a bitch or something. But really, if a girl is testing you, what she's doing is she's sort of poking you in a subtle way. She's not blatantly disrespecting you and being serious like, you have a small dick, buddy. That's blatant disrespect. But a test is more subtle than that. A test will be like a girl starting to talk about some random guy in front of you to see how you're going to react. That's not blatant disrespect. It's different. And if you talk to a lot of girls, you know exactly what a test is. You know what I mean. So the reason that a girl tests you is because you've outwardly displayed at least some level of confidence to the girl. And they want to see your reaction when they hit you with a curveball out of the blue. Because it can be easy to fake confidence for 30 seconds. It can be easy to memorize some lines and have that down, and it's easy to act cocky. But when a girl hits you with that curveball and she starts talking about some random guy, she starts highlighting some random guy, that's a curveball that you can only face if you really are confident. And so this is a good thing because now once you understand what I'm going to talk about in this video, you're going to have the opportunity to prove that you actually are that confident guy, that you actually are that strong guy by smoothly maintaining your composure and keeping going and keeping that conversation progressing forward. And when you pass a test and you maintain your composure artfully, this creates attraction because once again, getting hit with a test spontaneously and remaining calm is a great indication of value for the girl because she's used to guys crumbling. That's the reason they do these, because they know when the girl knows that when she hits a guy with a test, 90% of the time the guy's gonna crumble. He's gonna try to explain himself a bunch. He's gonna try to, validate himself over the girl, and do stuff like that where he's chasing her. And she's very used to seeing that happen. Now, when you're the guy who passes it, it's very different. All right, so step 3, I'm gonna talk about 8 examples that happened at the bar the other day. And girls test me constantly a lot because I act very cocky. And they want to see if it's real, if I can actually back it up with my composure. So the first test I got hit with at the bar was I walk up to the girl, and I was honestly pretty rusty. So my opener wasn't very good. I was very sort of stuttering a little bit. Wasn't that smooth. So the girl was like, "Is that your pickup line?" This is a very common one you'll get. And so the way I respond to this is, "No, was it that smooth though? Wow, thank you." And so what I was doing here is called a misinterpretation. I was misinterpreting what she said as her complimenting how good my conversation was. And so now she's the one complimenting me. I have flipped the frame. Instead of me being the one using a pickup line, now she's the one complimenting me. Number 2, the girl then said, the same girl, "Why did you come here? What do you want?" This girl was very tough. She was like sort of one of those meaner girls. And so I was just like, "I'm not sure. I mean, are you selling something?" And an alternative thing you can do here is just ignore that and just keep talking. Like, "Why'd you come here? What do you want?" And then you just keep talking about whatever you were talking about before. You don't even have to have a witty response. All right, number 3, I approach a group of 3 girls, and I was being really cocky. One of the girls says, "Why are you wearing a wife beater here? I thought that was for the gym." So I said, "I am in the gym." And she was like, "Oh, are you curling that cup?" And I had this cup in my hand, this drink in my hand. So I go, 1, 2, 3, as I'm like sipping it, like each sip was a rep. And it was very funny. All the girls laughed, and I passed the test. So here I just said agree, and I reframed it in a funny way. Number 4, now that same girl said, "Do you want to buy us shots?" And if you ever go for this test, you failed. I mean, never do that. Unless you like have actually built a connection with the girl and you framed it in a different way where you're the one offering it, it's never a good idea to cave into that, obviously. So this is a challenging thing that a girl just did to me. So I had to challenge her back in a bit more of a stiff way. And I actually learned this from this guy, RSD Jeffy. So I said, "Sure, just make out with me first." And of course, I wasn't actually trying to make out with the girl. But I'm like, "All right, if you're gonna poke me, I'm gonna poke you back." But now one of the other girls in the group, she started to get jealous because I was flirting with one of the girls. So one of the different girls, she said, "Oh, we all have herpes." And so I was like, "Oh, were we all going on a date?" Because I wasn't even trying to flirt with her. I wasn't even trying to kiss the girl who tested me in this way. But she sort of put herself in the category of I was trying to, I guess, kiss all of them, which I wasn't. Like, I basically put her back in her place. Number 6. So one of the girls asked where I was from, and I'm actually from Florida. I lived there until I was about in high school a bit. And this was the girl that hit me with the previous test. "Oh, we all have herpes." That's the girl who's getting really jealous. And so I told her I was from Florida, and she's like, "Oh my God, he's from Florida, guys. No, he's a Florida guy. You gotta go." And she was making this big sort of deal about how I was from Florida. It was like sort of immature and ridiculous. It was just annoying. So I just look at her with this expression like she was being kind of ridiculous, and I just kept talking to the girl that I was actually trying to talk to. I just looked at her like, and I didn't even respond to it. You don't always have to respond to it. I'm framing her test as uncool. I'm like, you're not being cool right now. Like, I'm not reacting to you like I actually care, but I'm sort of judging you a little bit for being uncool. And no girl wants to break the social norms and be uncool, especially in a group where I've sort of won over her friends at the point, and the friends are sort of on my side. Because when she said the "we all have herpes" thing, the girl that I was flirting with, she actually said, you didn't have to say that now. We don't all have herpes. Like, she didn't want that frame to be in the conversation. So it was funny. And an alternative that I learned from Todd V is like when a girl's repeatedly being annoying and like testing you and you're like, all right, this is kind of annoying. You can just say, can we just be normal now, to the girl? That's a good one. All right, number 7, I learned that I went to the same college as the jealous girl, and I was actually in a fraternity for like half a semester at this college, and then I dropped out of the fraternity. I didn't really enjoy it. So I told her that I was in that fraternity, and she was like, oh my God, you guys are absolute scum of the earth, making a huge deal out of it again because she was jealous. And so I was just like, oh, it doesn't seem like you like them much at all. And then I keep talking to the girl I was interested to. So I just gave an unreactive response here, like, I don't really care that you feel that way, just chill out. An alternative thing that you could say here is if a girl's ever calling you out on your character, you can just agree and amplify it. So you'd be like, yeah, honestly, I'm a terrible person. I'm the devil, like, I'm awful. Just go with it, and they have no power over you, and you smoothly deflect it. It's like waterproof. It's like having a waterproof, shirt, and you're just getting rained on. It just rolls down the shirt. Number 8, this was a different girl. She asked me, are you nervous? This is one you might get a lot often too. And I was like, yes, I'm absolutely quivering right now. And I slowed down my voice a little bit there too, to show her that I actually wasn't nervous. And so once again, this is agree and amplify. You're agreeing to whatever the girl says, making it ridiculous to sort of challenge her back in a way. Step 4 is mastery. And if you're sort of getting a theme here, when it comes to how to stay solid, is you always just want to be unreactive when a girl tests you. Because that's exactly what a girl is testing for, to see if you're going to react emotionally. That's it. And so, and even if a girl is truly insulting you, like it's not just like a test, you reacting to that girl is her winning. She's getting what she wants. And so you never want to react regardless. Now, if you have been paying attention, when it comes to tests, there's a couple main ways to pass them. Number 1, agree to whatever the girl's throwing at you and just amplify it. A girl's like, oh, you must be a player. You're like, yeah, I'm the biggest player of all. Another way, misinterpret to a beneficial frame for you. So a girl says, oh, is that your pickup line? You're like, oh, wow, is it that good? But this stuff is like really witty. You have to like come up with this stuff in the moment. So your best bet is just to ignore the test, maybe give like a little smirk, and just keep talking. That's your best bet in a lot of cases. All right, and a way to get really good at handling these tests is simply repetition. Like the more times that a girl tests you, it's like this picture I put down here where the guy's like hammering the sword and it's getting forged in the fire. The more sort of emotional tests that you face, the stronger your frame is gonna be. And also, don't be the guy that just talks to single girls, like they just talk to the one girl walking down the street. Open multiple girls. Now that might be hard for you if you're like a complete beginner right now, but don't be the guy that only opens the one girl, because you get a lot of game from opening group sets, and you'll just be getting hit. If it's like a hot group of girls, you'll be getting hit with tests.